quickly learned that you were the guy all the time, that you were the guy, except for when you were like going to die. Like, so basically, season 2, you are out of commission because of appendicitis.
Well, we thought
but that went toxic, or you went septic?
Well, it was 2 things or like 3 things happened. It was crazy. First of all, like they didn't call me for second season. You know, like I was never called.
Well, so this is the thing. When I was doing research on you,
yeah,
I never knew this, that season 1, I had no idea that you were basically every day, they sort of like called you up and were like, so you're going to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
I had no
idea a contract every day.
That you basically went in every day, signed an NDA and like signed a contract and like worked that day.
Every single day.
That's crazy. So, okay, so you're not supposed to come back for season 2. Little do they know you're in the hospital like dying.
Yeah. So, September 27th, I take my daughter to Disneyland all day. And for about a week before that, I thought I had like gas. I kid you not. And then I was like, it's kidney stone. I've had one of those before. I'm like, it's nothing. It's, whatever. Made it through the whole day. But I was like, ah. The next day was the 28th. It was a Saturday. We had, I always managed somehow, thank God, to be able to coach my kids. And I had a game I had to coach at 11 o'clock. And I had gotten out of my bed at like 4 a.m. and went to the couch. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm going to drive myself to the urgent care and tell them to give me some, whatever they give you, morphine, so that I can get through the soccer game on my kidney stone while I pass the stone. There's not one symptom of a kidney stone, mind you. It's just painful.
Just pain.
Like that. Yeah. And so they're closed, thank God, because everybody told me they would have said, oh yeah, here you go. And he drugged you up and then you just died at home or on the sideline.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. So they were closed and I went to St. Joe's out in Burbank. And I went in and my doctor happened to be doing rounds that day. And she's the best there is. And I was in the waiting room and I texted my family. I was like, hey, just so you know, if you wake up and I'm not there, I'm over at the emergency room. I'm good. I drove myself. Nobody said I was smart. So I get there and I'm leading. I kid you not, if you walked in there and you were like, I broke my hand and you saw me, you'd have been like, I'm going to go home and wait because that guy looks problematic. I'm laying over a chair, my hands on the ground, holding like myself, but just so I could be bent. And I'm going, oh, and then I would yell up to the lady at the counter. It was like 45 minutes in. And I go, if I tell you I'm having a heart attack, will you bring me in there right now? And she's like, no, we will not believe you. I was like, oh my God, okay. What can I do here? Well, my doctor happened to walk in. She goes, Brendan, what are you doing here? I'm like, I just need some drugs. I got a game at 11. It's 8:30 now. Can we hurry up? And she's like, for what? I go, I'm pretty sure it's just a kidney stone. She's, where does it hurt? And I point to the front of my body. She goes, that's not a kidney stone. Your kidneys are in the back, remember? And I was like, I wasn't good in school. That's why I became an actor. She's like, okay. So next thing, I kid you not, he goes, go in here, we'll shoot you up. So I get in there. They shoot me up. And apparently, I didn't know how long it was. 4.5 hours later, I wake up in my gown and they've opened me up and they're like, you had appendicitis. I was like, oh my God. They're like, you were super toxic. Like you had been leaking and the whole thing. I was like, God, that's terrible. Okay, we're good. They're like, yeah, you should be out by tonight. I was like, okay, great. And then like one day turned into 5 days with that same answer. And I kept saying to my docs, I was like, hey, I'm not like, I know my body. I'm a pretty fit guy. I know when I have problems, something's wrong with me. So they go in again. They're like, something's wrong. But they do it like, what is it called? Laparoscopic with like cameras or whatever. And they're like, oh, we got to clean them out again. Now, meanwhile, I walked in there about 175. 6 days later, I was 146. And then it just keeps going. And then they're like, we got to put him in an oxygen room, like where nothing can get in there. My kid came home from not from high school, from college to say goodbye to dad. They were like, he's going to die. And it turns out that all those, hernia mesh ads you see for lawsuits, the sticky patch that they put on, they're not supposed to peel, but nobody told them. So the doctors peeled it. Well, it caught my other part of my intestine and it ripped it apart. And so 42 days later, I come out of the hospital. And that was the deal. Like, I mean, I died three times, I think, while I was there. Just died.
Like literally died?
Yeah.
Like on the table, you fucking flatlined?
Yep. My red blood cell, white blood cell, something was terrible. They couldn't go in. And then we called, my family was mad that I didn't drive over to Santa Monica to the John Wayne Cancer Institute because we know all the guys there. And I ended up getting a great doctor to call from the institute and talk to the doctors at Burbank and say, hey, look, this is our guy. You need to go in and check him out. No more laparoscopic. So I had like I had 4 total surgeries. And it was just like, I got a blood transfusion a few times. Like it was crazy. Like, I know what I was thinking in my head. Like, I had a colostomy bag. I didn't want, I was like, I'm not living with a colostomy bag. Sorry, guys. All those kind of things. It was crazy. It was one of the most take stock moments you could ever have and survive it. Like, and then you go, what's the most important thing?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, that the reason I brought up the dates was that was September 28th. I didn't get out till November 5th. Yeah. 5th or 6th or something like that. Principal photography, I knew when it began, which was October 12th. They were doing pre-production stuff. I hadn't been called. I hadn't gotten a script. Nothing. The year before, I did rehearsals before the season started. Like everything, like nothing. And I was like, okay, this is why I signed a contract every day, just was what it was. And then October 6th, they called my wife, funny enough, because I wasn't answering my phone.
Yeah.
Because it was taken away from me. You want to know why?
She were dying?
So when I went to the ICU, I had all these things, and I'm like, they're going to make me the drugs were unreal. Like, I was out of my mind. But I was like, I need to get out of here. And so I told my wife, don't tell anybody anything. Friends, anybody. You can tell my brothers and sisters, that's it. And she's so good. She didn't. And then I'm in the ICU and I text my buddy. I'm like, hey, listen, I need you to bring me some pizza and some Gatorade. And I need you to meet me at the ER at St. Joe's. And so he's like, all right, gets in his car. And then he's like, wait, we're in our late 40s here, bro. I'm not doing, this is high school stuff. So he calls my wife and goes, hey, where is Brendan? Is he? She's, I wasn't supposed to tell you, but blah, blah. She's, okay, you got to get his phone back and text everybody and tell them not to come. Because I guarantee you I'm not the only one.
You
Apparently,
text everyone for pizza?
I literally text messaged 13 people for pizza and Gatorade. And 5 of them were on their way. So God bless them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was nuts. But so, yeah, it was just a crazy thing. And then I was like, don't tell anybody anything. So she's like, yeah, he had appendicitis, blah, blah, blah. And it's just take him a couple days. Then it was like, he's not done yet. And then they're like, we really want him. Well, what do we have to do? And they think it's a negotiating point.
Oh my God, I love that you were negotiating for a better deal. Little did you know, this is the best negotiating tactic ever.
Yeah, right. And so Anyway, it ended up still. When I came back, I was 2 weeks out of the hospital, and it was funny because the week before I visited set on the back lot because I wanted to meet Timothy Oliphant so bad,
Me
and I
too.
walked out there, and I was like, I was like fangirl, like I was like, all right, bro.
I went for Timothy Oliphant too.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I'm not on that team, but bro, I could probably like,
Yeah.
you're good,
Yeah.
you're good, you're really good.
Yeah.
And he was so nice. I don't think he had a clue why this guy. I mean, he probably thought I was like Make-A-Wish. Like I was 146 pounds. I
You
know that's
were.
really probably insensitive, but like I couldn't walk straight.
Yeah.
So like I had to.
You were
raise myself.
strapped in though.
Oh yeah.
You were literally strapped in every
like,
single
I'm
day,
going-
holding your insides in with like a brace.
I still like. Funny enough, who came and visited me? Mike Manziel, Tam, and Misty came and visited me. And Mike's excitement to see my wound while I was in bed was the funniest thing I'd like. He's like, no.
Did you take pictures?
Let me see. And then he's like, can I take a picture? Because I could make this. And I was like, whatever you need.
I love when makeup artists or special effects people see you really injured because all they're thinking is, can I take pictures of you? My friend Fran, it was a bruise. I think it was like on my leg or on my arm. It was a really bad bruise while we were filming this movie. And she wanted to take pictures of it every single day to watch the progression and the color changes of it. And I was like, this is crazy. Like it was, a huge bruise. So funny.